After the final discovery of the great cities of the Maya, in the tropical forests of South America, researchers and archaeologists began to search possible reasons for the extinction of this advanced people. As the first cities of the Maya in the dense jungle of were discovered by European archaeologists, it was in the world of researchers initially doubted whether an advanced civilization outside Europe thousands of years ago. Where these doubts of scientists at the beginning of the excavations and final discoveries of the great cities and pyramids of the Mayan came from. The high culture of the Maya had 500 years before Columbus in America has landed, reached its zenith of power and disappeared for the most part. From history. Around 900 AD, well before Columbus, about 80% of the Maya population died. Since that time, no great pyramids of the Maya have been built as we know it today. What causes could have triggered this death? The demise of the Maya is still a big mystery to the scientific world. In this video we shed light on possible causalities for the disappearance of the great civilization of the Mayans. Let's go. The emergence of the Maya culture began in present-day Guatemala. At that time, still nomads, the early Maya made around the year 1200 BC, maize and agriculture. They started small village communities and started using ceramics. Between the years 200 and 800 AD, was the heyday of the Maya culture. Mathematics, astronomy and civil engineering ended. Agriculture and fixed metropolitan structures have come to an end. Some scientists suspect that natural disasters may have to do with the downfall of the Maya. But this statement is still too imprecise. But the development and subsequent flowering of this high culture could not have come about completely on its own either. According to the theory of the scientists, the Mayans were colonists from another place. From Mexico to the territory of present-day Argentina. Today, archaeologists firmly believe that the tropical rainforest is not harmful to the development of man, and thus of the high culture of the Maya. Another explanation for the lie about the extinction of the Mayan civilization were a random natural disaster. Large monumental buildings, surrounded by the tropical rainforest, give the impression as if they were abandoned fleetingly by the Mayans. People have run away from a catastrophe and have not returned. Some Mayan cities, including the city of Acanmol, were indeed at the mercy of an earthquake. However, most of the Mayan structures are far away from that of the fracture of the Earth's crust, which can be traced to this day, removed. That is, an earthquake comes as the main cause for the extinction of the Maya civilization. Major epidemics, such as bubonic plague in late medieval Europe of the 14th century, claimed 25 million deaths. This catastrophe is causing great horror in Europe. One possible disease that could have affected the Maya was yellow fever. But the yellow fever virus could only have arrived on the American continent with Christopher Columbus from the year 1492 AD. In the ruins of the Maya were no pictures on the walls of the temples or inscription which could support the theory of yellow fever. Moreover, by today's archaeologists, no skeletons with traces of from yellow fever in the bones still found in mass graves with countless skeletons, which could point to a mass epidemic. Caribbean storms such as hurricanes, which today always occur in the area of today's Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico occur, may also have hit the territory of the Maya before the year 1100. These could have hit the villages and cities of the Maya even then with full force and at least devastate the huts and fields. In this context, a virus may have come from Africa, by hurricane, which affects the corn germ, and the corn harvest of the Mayans could do nothing. Another hypothesis that could explain the disappearance of the Mayan civilization is related to a warlike people who came from Mexico. According to this theory, researchers assume that the aggressive people of Mexico and the stalk of locusts has fallen over the territory of the Maya and destroyed everything that got in their way. In three major cities of the Maya, archaeologists found two styles of ceramic waters, which were scattered in large quantities over the entire area. But the remarkable value of these finds was that the structure and style of these crops were completely different, and from now on have completely changed. This means that another culture has conquered the area and displaced the previous people. These conquerors have established their own culture and laws in this area. In addition, the architecture of the buildings and the excavated statues have changed from 0 to 100, completely changed. In addition, statues of an ancient pagan god were found, most of which occurred in Mexico. These statues were dated by carbon method to the year 846 AD. Most archaeologists today believe that the conquerors were a Potunian people from Mexico. These very belligerent people were also merchants, who also traded with the Mayans. How could Central America's most influential hands benefit from the destruction of your most important client? The conquerors were probably a symptom, so to speak, and not the disease metaphorically, which caused the disappearance of the Mayas caused. According to other archaeologists, the demise of the Maya was triggered by a peaceful conflict. These archaeologists claim that the Mayans were very heavily dependent on their neighbors economically. This dependency came about because the Maya needed stones and other raw materials for their great buildings. As long as the trade routes were intact, everything was wonderful for the Maya. But around the year 900 AD, a fast sea trade route was opened around the Mexican half-island of Yucatan. As a result, the trade routes in the countryside were closed, and the Maya were not given any raw materials needed. Archaeological findings from island, which are located on the open sea off Yucatan, and were important trading posts, prove that this trading center from the year 1000 AD were very prosperous and flourishing. For this reason, this thesis is the most obvious explanation for the disappearance of the Maya. The conquest of the great Mayan cities by the warlike people of Mexico contradicts the model just presented. I hope you liked the video. If so, please leave a subscription and a thumb up there. See you soon. Your channel History Best.